breaking news today.
Please subscribe and then check notification box to get all breaking news alerts.
We will win so much that we will get tired of winning. President Donald Trump was right. Early this morning, after a midnight showdown with the party of no, the Democrats, the United States Senate approved President Trump's tax bill 5148 on Capitol Hill. This is the biggest tax overhaul in 30 years. Biggest since the Reagan Administration. Later in a speech, President Trump touted the historic significance of this tax and jobs bill, and he also said the visa lottery and chain migration will be eliminated. Amen. He then proceeded to put the notoriously vicious MS-13 gang on notice as he began to talk about his new illegal immigration crackdown. He elaborated by saying the loopholes created by Democrats, such as chain migration and the visa lottery system, are going to be no more. America and American citizens first. About damn time we had a president who put American citizens first. No other nation on earth cares more about illegal immigrants than their own citizens. In fact, in most, if not all, Latin American nations, if you don't belong there and they catch you, there is a minimum of prison time you will have to serve. They will not give you welfare, free healthcare nor any kind of free education for your children. You won't even be able to have a job, and in Mexico, if you aren't a natural-born citizen you will never be able to hold a government job. What a contrast with the U.S., where here in California the state offices are inundated with illegal aliens looking for work which should go to those who don't break the law. Also, ending chain migration means more Muslim terrorists like the one who tried to bomb civilians inside New York's Port Authority bus terminal earlier this month won't be able to get into the country. He was only allowed in because he was a distant relative of another Muslim living here. Via undercover politics. Interested in immigrating to Mexico? Good luck. At a time when Obama and many politicians from both sides of the aisle seek to shove a pathway to citizenship law down our throats, let's look at how Mexico deals with immigration. Mexico has a single, streamlined law that ensures that foreign visitors and immigrants are in the country legally, have the means to sustain themselves economically, not destined to be burdens on society, of economic and social benefit to society, of good character and have no criminal records, contributors to the general well-being of the nation. Immigration authorities have a record of each foreign visitor. Foreign visitors do not violate their visa status. Foreign visitors are banned from interfering in the country's internal politics. Foreign visitors who enter under false pretenses are imprisoned or deported. Foreign visitors violating the terms of their entry are imprisoned or deported. Those who aid in illegal immigration will be sent to prison. The Mexican Constitution strictly defines the rights of citizens and the denial of many fundamental rights to non-citizens, illegal and legal. It is an interesting law, and one that should cause us to ask, why is our southern neighbor pushing us to water down our own immigration laws and policies, when its own immigration restrictions are the toughest on the continent? If the United States adopted such statutes, Mexico would denounce it as American racism and bigotry. We looked at the immigration provisions of the Mexican Constitution. Now let's look at Mexico's immigration law. Mexico welcomes only foreigners who will be useful to Mexican society. Foreigners are admitted into Mexico according to their possibilities of contributing to national progress. Immigration officials must ensure that immigrants will be useful elements for the country and that they have the necessary funds for their sustenance and for their dependents. Foreigners may be barred from the country if their presence upsets the equilibrium of the national demographics, when foreigners are deemed detrimental to economic or national interests, when they do not behave like good citizens in their own country, when they have broken Mexican laws, and when they are not found to be physically or mentally healthy. The Secretary of Governance may suspend or prohibit the admission of foreigners when he determines it to be in the national interest. Mexican authorities must keep track of every single person in the country. Federal, local and municipal police must cooperate with federal immigration authorities upon request, that is, to assist in the arrests of illegal immigrants. A national population registry keeps track of every single individual who comprises the population of the country, and verifies each individual's identity. A national catalog of foreigners tracks foreign tourists and immigrants, and assigns each individual with a unique tracking number. Foreigners with fake papers, or who enter the country under false pretenses, may be imprisoned. Foreigners with fake immigration papers may be fined or imprisoned. Foreigners who sign government documents with a signature that is false or different from that which he normally uses are subject to fine and imprisonment. Foreigners who fail to obey the rules will be fined, deported, and/or imprisoned as felons. Foreigners who fail to obey a deportation order are to be punished. Foreigners who are deported from Mexico and attempt to re-enter the country without authorization can be imprisoned for up to 10 years. Foreigners who violate the terms of their visa may be sentenced to up to 6 years in prison. Foreigners who misrepresent the terms of their visa while in Mexico, such as working without a permit, can also be imprisoned. Under Mexican law, illegal immigration is a felony. The general law on population says a penalty of up to 2 years in prison and a fine of 300 to 5,000 pesos will be imposed on the foreigner who enters the country illegally. Foreigners with legal immigration problems may be deported from Mexico instead of being imprisoned. Foreigners who attempt against national sovereignty or security will be deported. Mexicans who help illegal aliens enter the country are themselves considered criminals under the law. A Mexican who marries a foreigner with the sole objective of helping the foreigner live in the country is subject to up to 5 years in prison. Shipping and airline companies that bring undocumented foreigners into Mexico will be fined. All of the above runs contrary to what Mexican leaders and most U.S. politicians are demanding of the United States and its citizens. The contrast between Mexico's immigration practices versus its American immigration preachings is giving a clear picture of the Mexican government, the American unions and the U.S. Chamber of Commerce true agenda. How about we just enforce the current laws on the books? The same laws that were good enough for my own parents to immigrate to the United States 45 years ago? We Americans just can't be responsible for people other nations want to get rid of any longer. Please share if you agree with America First. Follow us on Facebook at Freedom Daily.